Right, what's going on, everybody? Super excited for today's video. We're going to take a look at Polygon, all right? Ticker symbol MATIC, MATIC. We're breaking it down on the daily chart. And this actually was a viewer request. So I just want to mention, if you have any requests, you want to see your ticker in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below, and I'll be happy to get to it as soon as I can. The things we're going to cover in this video are going to be the Fibonacci retracement levels, specifically the 61.8, the 50%, and the 38.2. These three levels are the key and major retracement levels that you need to watch for. We'll go over how to use that strategy and how you can spot a trend continuation, right? Or a possible reversal. Some of the other things we're going to look at is going to be the MACD. We're going to look at some entry and exit signals based off of the MACD, as well as the relative strength index and how you can spot divergences that give you an indicator on future bullish or bearish activity. So make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so we also have some chart patterns on here, mostly just the head and shoulders pattern. It's a very easy pattern for beginners to start to spot and identify. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look here and see that we have a left shoulder right here, we have a head, and then we have our right shoulder, right? So we end up forming this nice head and shoulders, okay? And we get a nice breakout. Now, combining stuff together and combining some of these strategies together is really going to give you an edge. And in the battlefield, as known as crypto, it's basically like going to war, okay? Every single day. You need to have the proper weapons and have as many weapons at your disposal, so that way you can increase your odds of success in the battlefield, okay? So we see this pattern here setting up, okay? And we actually get our MACD buy signal. It's going to be when this blue line crosses above the orange line, okay? When it crosses below the orange line, that is going to be a exit signal, okay? But right here, we do get a buy signal on the MACD, okay? We see the relative strength index is oversold as well. It's below this line here. Below 30 is going to be oversold on the relative strength index. And, we get our signal here. We get a slight pullback, okay? But we're still trading above the orange line here on the MACD. So we see we have bullish momentum. We see we end up getting a right shoulder right here, and we can take that trade up to the top, and it's going to target the previous highs on the head and shoulders, okay? Specifically the inverse head and shoulders. Now we see this pattern happen again over here, and we see a repeat of the same process, right? So we see our RSI, or our MACD, I'm sorry, comes and crosses above the blue line, or the blue line crosses above the orange line right here. That's our buy signal. And we see we end up getting another head and shoulders, and we get a nice breakout. Now, the next thing we're going to cover is the fib retracement levels, the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8. The way that you use this tool, right, is you basically take your swing lows down here, connect them to your swing highs, and nothing is going to move in a straight line up or down. But, you have these retracement levels, and you can spot a reversal, right? So if we come up and we break through these levels, then we have a reversal. But if not, then we just have a healthy retracement, and we're going to continue the trend, right? So we see we come up, we make these highs, we have a healthy retracement, we perfectly hold the 61.8 retracement level, okay? And then we continue the uptrend and make new highs, all right? So, it's very, very useful, these things. And once you start to combine stuff together, it really helps you out a lot. The next thing we're going to cover is actually going to be some divergence, right? So we're going to pay attention to the relative strength index real quick down here on the bottom. And I want to highlight, basically these two circles, okay? So you see we have a high here, and we have a higher high over here. Well, here we have a high, and then we have a lower high. So the relative strength is actually going down, right? And again, this RSI is going to be measuring the relative strength of a token at its given price. So if the price is in an uptrend, right, and we're making higher highs, the relative strength of this token should be increasing as well. But in fact, that's not the case. And what we see is we have a bearish divergence. It's an indicator you may see some bearish activity in the future. All right. Not only do we get bearish divergence right here, okay, shortly afterwards, we get a MACD sell signal, right? And the blue line goes and starts trading below the orange line. So now we have two things, two things out of our weapon list, okay, out of our arsenal, that's indicating we're going to have some bearish activity. All right. And we can take a look, and we can see that, there was a sharp drop shortly afterwards. Okay. We dropped 35%. We dropped over 55% here. Ultimately, it led to a very sharp decline in the ticker. Okay, now afterwards, okay, knowing that we have this bearish divergence, we have the MACD sell signal, we see it tries to recover, but what it does is it forms a head and shoulders, right? So now we have two things indicating bearish activity, right? We have our MACD, we got our exit signal, we got our relative strength index with bearish divergence, and now we have a third thing. We have a what's known as a head and shoulders. Okay, and ultimately you combine all of these things together and you can surmise that we're going to have a sharp drop, right? And what do? Okay, if we take a look here again, after we complete this move, right, we're now going to see, okay, are we going to get a retracement to the upside and continue this trend, or are we going to break out of here and get a nice breakout? All right, so we've connected our swing high right down here to our swing lows. And we see we come down, we retrace, we get rejected right here at our 50% retracement level, and then we end up forming another head and shoulders, right? So this is why I'm showing this pattern. It's a little bit of an easier one to start spotting and identifying, but you're getting some bearish signals here, right? Not only did we get a clean rejection off of our 50% retracement level, and we know that most likely if we keep rejecting these levels, we're going to get that trend continuation to the downside. We end up getting a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder, and it takes us down to complete the move. Okay, now you can also use the fib tool over here to get some bearish or bullish price targets. So in this case, what we're doing is we're seeing where the price of this token is going to be drawn to using the fibs. Okay, and the reason that I use the fibs so much versus drawing some of my own naked support lines, right, where I'm just putting a line saying, okay, well, here's support here, here's resistance. The reason I like to do this is because about 70% of trading is done by algorithms, whether you believe it or not. In the crypto market and the stock market as well, it's true. Okay, so it's good to start using some of the formulas that some of these algos are going to be using, and generating some mathematical price targets for you. So we see we come down, we ultimately break our breakout level, we come down and look at where we find support right here at our extension. Okay, and then we come up, we break through there, and then we see again a major level of resistance right here. Once we start trading below this level, we tap it multiple times, and even later we come and we retest this level. Once we break through here, we retest this level and get another rejection, right? So it's very good to use the fib tool over here, and you want to know the difference on how you want to use it, right? So these three are going to be your retracement levels: the 61.8, the 50%, and the 38.2. And then you can have your the 100% will be your breakout level. I like to put that in blue, and for bearish price targets, I'll keep them in red. And if I'm looking for the upside, it'll be in green, right? And I like to look at the 1272, the 161.8, as well as some others, okay? But we're really just going to focus on those. Now, we went over some bearish divergence, right? What we're going to do now is actually take a look at some bullish divergence, okay? And we actually get multiple signals here for a nice trade, all right? So a bullish divergence is going to be when the relative strength index is making higher lows, right? So here we have a low, we have a higher low right here. On the price of this token, we see we're actually in a downtrend creating lower lows. We have a low, lower low, we have a low here, we have a higher low right over here. Okay, so that's a bullish divergence. Then we take a look at our MACD. What do we see? We see the MACD is crossing over. So now we have two things formulating together, giving us an edge, saying that, hey, there could be some bullish activity in the future of MATIC's price action, right? And then ultimately we get a nice cup and handle here as well. So now that's our third. So let's say, we get in here, we catch this move, we see a pullback, okay? And if we take out our fib tool, I'm interested to see, I'm pretty sure we ended up holding the retracement levels. Yeah. So look, we come up, we have a healthy retracement, and then we continue higher. We end up making that nice cup and handle pattern. And that was our third signal, right? So the whole purpose of this video is not to be financial advice, but to be more for informational. And again, once you see one thing lining up, right, then you have a little bit of confidence, right? You say, oh, hey, well, there's a bullish divergence here. Oh, wait, well, hey, now I see two things, right? Now I see two things. We have a MACD entry signal, right? And then your third thing, you see that you have a bullish, candlestick pattern on the chart. And, now you have three things kind of giving you confidence, saying that, hey, I think we could see some bullish activity, right? And what do you know? We do get a very nice rally, okay, from the original bullish divergence signal. This thing rallied up about 207%, right? And you can take profit along the way anywhere that you see fit, or you can wait until you see some exit signals, right? Which is why I like to use entry and exits, kind of as like the terminology a little bit more. But here we get a great example, okay? We see we have a high right here, we have a higher high right here. Clearly the token is in an uptrend, but the relative strength index is in a downtrend, right? And then again, shortly afterwards, we get the MACD exit signal right here, and we come down and we see, ultimately that this thing is trading lower. So again, we're using our edge. We have two things kind of, letting us know where it's going to go, to the upside or to the downside. Okay. And ultimately, we do get a pullback. All right. And so you can see here from those highs down to the lows, that was about a 34% pullback. So it may not look like much, but if you have $10,000 in a position and you're not looking at some of these signals, and then you check your position and you say, hey, well, now I only have $6,500. What just happened? And you might panic sell, right? So now that we've basically gone over all of this, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the current price action and pay attention to the major levels, right? So ultimately what we're doing right now is we're tracking this swing low down here up to this swing high. And we are currently in the healthy retracement levels, right? So we've come up, we've made this high, and we're holding our 50% retracement level currently. That is our major support level that we're currently holding. It's at 0.8089, right? So about 80 cents, roughly 81 cents. And if we continue to hold these levels, then there's a strong possibility that we could continue up to the upside, right? 92.58 is going to be our major resistance. And then above there, this is kind of going to be no man's land, right? And we're really going to either move sideways and drop back down into here, or we're going to move sideways and get our breakout to the upside. Our breakout level is going to be 1.3093, and then we have some bullish price targets up here to the upside of 1.45 and 1.646. Now, if we break these levels, right, and so if we break our 50% retracement level, our 61.8 retracement level is going to be right here at 0.6920. And that's also really going to be our breakout level to the downside, right? Because again, you either get a trend continuation to the upside or you get a reversal, right? And if we do break our 61.8 retracement level, we're going to have 0.5264 as a major support level, and then 0.3137. So I'm not saying that this thing has to go down this low, back down to 30 cents, but I'm just giving you guys pretty much an unbiased analysis on it, which is really what I mostly try to do, is just, give you guys the data that's on the chart and let you know where we can go either to the upside or to the downside. Right now, this is just a big consolidation period, right? We're really just consolidating and absorbing a lot of this downwards movement. There's been a lot of negative catalysts. Okay, everybody knows about the Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX. Now there's lots of rumors that Binance is illiquid. Crypto.com is having lots of issues. The Fed is coming out very hawkish, which a lot of people don't track that stuff who track crypto, but it is very important to the crypto atmosphere as well, because there are a lot of companies that are invested and will pull back investments and things like that based off of the Fed fund rates and the federal rate hikes. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Just wanted to give you all a breakdown, explain some of the strategies that you guys can use to start giving yourself an edge. An edge is what you truly need to be successful, and everyone needs to find their own edge. But these are some of the things that help give me an edge in my journey. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget about those viewer requests. I do those every week. If you want to see your ticker in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below.